Hey everybody, welcome back to the Cheap Pop Show. I'm Dave.
I'm Nick.
And this is episode 13.
Yeah.
Finally got to 13. And if you think 13's unlucky, too bad, because it's episode 13.
Too bad. Survive if we let you.
I'm really going to regret printing things out for you.
Yes, you are. Did we happen to mention it is...
Oh, for crying. Good Lord. Before we get into... I got a lot of stuff to talk about.
13 things to talk about?
No, we don't have 13 things. I'm gonna knock you out. On June 17th, we had a table at the Wrestling Classic number 3, not 13, number 3.
Wait.
Oh.
3.
I regret doing this show with you. The two headliners. The two headliners were DDP and Kurt Angle. Also, Devon, Lex Luger, Marty Jannetty, Teddy Long, Eddie and Alicia Edwards, Ashley D'Amboise, Valentina Rossi, and The Godfather.
And Lex Luger.
I said Lex Luger.
Did you?
But good thing you don't pay the fuck attention.
Yo.
There were a lot of great vendors there. I'm glad I didn't bring any money because...
Oh my god, we would have spent the whole shitload of money.
There was so many action figures.
It was so fucking tempting.
Yeah, you wanted the $400 Rey Mysterio shirt.
Fuck no. The thing I wanted the most was the Shawn Michaels Commissioner action figure.
That was pretty cool. But we noticed some of the classic, WWF ones. The Undertaker looks like Roman Reigns.
Yes.
I mean, it looks literally like they're Roman Reigns.
Then, who was it that looked like Chris Canyon?
Oh, Crush. Yeah,
yep.
Crush looks like Canyon with a tattoo on his head. It was kind of funny. But I'm glad I didn't bring extra money. All I paid for was DDP and Devon. DDP, I got the last issue of the WCW magazine signed. This shipped out right before the company shut down or right after and I have the picture because the guy taking the picture was really cool. He took pictures of DDP signing it. So I have not that I'm ever going to sell it, but I have verification that it was actually him that signed it. And it's all bold and blue. I think it looks awesome.
That looks amazing.
You mentioned I should get Hurricane to sign it, but unless I go to an Access, since I think he's with WWE, I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Right? Wait, you can always get Rick Steiner to sign the back.
I don't think he's going to be doing very many conventions with all the shit that he's done lately. But maybe. And of course, before the doors even opened,
Bam!
Devon Dudley was there. I already have Bubba Ray on here, so to have Devon on it as well. This is the original ECW release. Not a WWE one, even though it does have WWE photos on the back, which I think is kind of funny.
Yeah.
But I believe this is right after they went into bankruptcy, so I think WWF might have actually owned it at this point. But it's still cool. It's an official ECW release, so to have both of them on it. And no, somebody asked me once if I'm going to get Spike Dudley on it. No, because who's on the cover? Who's on the back? It's not Spike. It's Bubba and Devon, so that's what I got done. Also, we need to give a shout out to the guys at the We Are Wrestling podcast. They had a table there as well. I believe they said it was their first time doing a table. We've done merch tables before, but this is the first time doing an actual table for our show. They are on all the podcast platforms, social media. I listened to episode 60. I believe they just had one just drop yesterday. I can't remember. I'm going to listen to that one too when I'm at work. I think they do a really good job, all three of them. I can't lie, I don't remember their names offhand, but they do a really good show. They do commercial breaks, which actually I think is something we can do for our merchandise.
Right.
And now that I have the video editor, I think we can do some cool stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely check these guys out. I know there's a lot of wrestling podcasts that you can listen to, but I think these guys have a really good fan, view of the business. I don't know if we do, but I think they do. So We Are Wrestling Podcast. They have merchandise as well. We're going to show some of ours off later because I've got our shirts over there.
Yep.
So I just wanted to give them a shout out. We Are Wrestling, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. They're on Apple Podcasts and iTunes as well. So check those guys out. They were really nice.
And in the words of one of our favorite movies, merchandising.
You want to show that stuff off now?
Oh, you mean what we got from when we went to go see the Transformers movie?
Well, you can do that. You can do that, and then we can show our shirts as well. We can get that out of the way.
I love the fact that I got to pick these up.
We haven't seen this yet. We're going to go see this next week.
Oh, yeah. But I think it was worth the money.
Yeah, this man dropped $40 between the ticket and the popcorn and the soda.
But it's worth it because I got to bring these
You got
home.
the Michael Keaton Flash Batman stuff, so that's cool. Well, since you brought up Transformers, we went and saw it yesterday. There are going to be spoilers.
Yes.
And I'm making sure that I'm putting spoilers in the title and spoilers in the description. We went and saw it. If you haven't seen it yet and you don't want spoilers, don't watch this part. You can just cut it out right now. I thought the movie was amazing.
It was.
Just the callbacks, and I love Mirage being in it. I thought that was a really cool twist to it. And with it being set in the 90s, I think is really cool. The movie quotes that Bumblebee did were really fucking
yes, great. Especially for two of them, Roddy Piper and Scarface.
They did Roddy Piper, I came here to kick ass and chew bubblegum. They cut it off that I came here to kick ass. And then they did Say Hello to My Little Friend from Scarface.
Yes!
So that was really, really cool. It was really cool to see the Maximals and Rise of the Beasts. It started off slow, but it really picked up, and I like the story of it. So it'll be interesting to see where they go with it, especially with the G.I. Joe component at the end.
I hope they actually do a collaboration of both of them together.
Yeah, I think if you make that a multiverse kind of thing, like like DC and Marvel does, get all those Hasbro properties together and make them into something.
Yes. It was from the movie too. What was eerie but cool seeing at the same time was the Twin Towers.
Oh yeah, because it was set in the 90s. You saw the World Trade Center. That was actually.
Yep.
I mean, when you go back, when you go back and watch the Die Hard movies, you see it, or the Ninja Turtles movie, you see it. It is kind of weird to think, that they were there, and people that were born after September 11th, don't remember the towers actually being there. So
right.
Yeah, it does feel kind of weird. So I showed the stuff I got signed. What do you got?
I think this was cool that we had this on our table.
Yeah. I didn't want it flashing because I didn't want it to be a distraction, but $25 on Etsy. It's usually for like gamer tags. People get their gamer tag on there. But I'm like, well, we're going to do it for our show because I think it looks cool. And of course, we have two Optimus Primes. He's knocked it over already before we started recording.
And I'm knocked over poor Karma.
Karma? That's a big black woman. He's a black man, but that's Kama, not Karma.
Whatever.
And since he was Kama and the Godfather,
I should have just said the Godfather then.
Yeah. He didn't have the hose there. I was kind of disappointed that there were no hose. Yeah.
Well,
I didn't have any money.
Well,
anyways.
there was a couple of fucking hoes walking around, but that's besides the point.
Well, you can call them hoes. I'm not gonna. So, what are you excited for the AEW game coming out in a couple weeks?
Yes. In 6 days, it's coming out.
Is it 6 days? Oh,
yes,
yeah, that's
6
right.
days.
Yeah, 29th. You're right. I don't know if I'm going to buy it the day that it comes out because I don't know if I'm going to have the cash on hand.
I already bought it. I already pre-ordered it. I can't fucking wait.
I'm sure you'll be sending me videos of all the shit that you're going to do on.
Fuck yes. Well, I've been showing you the pictures from the Star Wars game.
Right. So what have you been doing lately on the Star Wars game?
Mainly finishing up like collecting little odds and ends shit.
Yeah, because you like to get all the trophies and shit, right?
Yes. Fuck yes.
See, I'm not like that. I don't really give a shit about that. I just like to play the game. But that's just me. It is cool. The AEW game is finally coming out. The gameplay looks good. I hear people bagging on the graphics, and I really
fuck you about the graphics. Who cares about that? As long as it's a good fucking play through.
I mean, I like games with good graphics, but there are some games where I don't give a shit.
Exactly. Look at the old PlayStation 2 games and stuff.
Right. They're fun to play, but they're not anything special. Next on the agenda, an event that you didn't watch. Impact Wrestling's Against All Odds happened on June 9th. You and I both like Joe Hendry. We think he's very entertaining.
Yes.
He's got a really catchy entrance, theme song. I believe in Joe Hendry. I think it's awesome. I think he's a great character. He's the digital media champion. He ended up beating Dirty Dango and retained the title. Have you seen anything of Killer Kelly and Masha Slamovich?
I don't think I have.
Well, they had a dog collar match that you would probably like. It was brutal. 2 women in a dog collar match. I thought it was I really liked those two. They were in the Hardcore War.
That is rare seeing that now. A fucking dog collar match.
Yeah, and especially with 2 women, that makes it even more rare. So,
sticking with the dog collar match, take a look back at what the fuck did he? I think I think it was against Chris Jericho. Perry Saturn.
Oh yeah, they did one where when Perry Saturn was wearing the dress and all that shit.
Yes,
that was a good one in WCW. In WCW.
Yep.
Ring of Honor did one with Raven and Punk that was really good.
That one was really good. I did see clips of that.
Right, and the most classic one in my opinion is Roddy Piper and Greg the Hammer Valentine from the original Starrcade.
Yes.
I don't think it gets much better than that. And then you've got, I think it was Brody Lee and Cody Rhodes and AEW.
Then you also had a couple of dog collar matches in ECW.
Yep.
The tag team match one. That one was really good.
Right. Was it the Eliminators and the?
No, it was the Pitbulls versus Raven and Stevie Richards.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's been good dog collar matches, but with it being between 2 women, I don't think that's something WWE would ever do.
No.
So it's cool that Impact is doing it. And we've said it before, if you're sleeping on Impact, I don't understand why. Really, it's a really good show. I don't know why it gets so much hate.
I still want to get the Impact Plus.
It's worth it. Chris Sabin became a 9-time X Division champ by beating Trey Miguel. Nick Aldis won an 8-4-1 match to become the new #1 contender. The way it started out was, it was a 4-on-4 tag. The winning team then went into a fatal 4-way against each other, and the winner became the #1 contender, and then it ended up becoming Nick Aldis. So I think that's a cool concept for a match, actually something new, which is another reason why I like Impact. They're
not doing the same old shit.
Right. They could be doing King of the Mountain and all that stuff, and they could be doing cage matches.
Right.
The one thing I will say, I'm not going to just love on Impact and not criticize them. They do hardcore matches way too much. I'm tired of seeing the barbed wire boards and, the thumbtacks and all that stuff. It's turning into deathmatch a little bit too much for me. But that's my only gripe. But the match with PCO and, which you haven't watched yet because you're a dick, with PCO and
Steve Macklin. Dick.
Yeah, it was really good. So you've definitely got to watch that.
We did see the highlights of it. You did show me that.
Right, but the next match was an Ohio street fight, OVE against the Design. Like I said, they're doing too many hardcore matches. They used barbed wire boards. They used a mailbox. And it just...
Did they use the kitchen sink?
No, they did not have a kitchen sink.
God damn it!
And the main event was Alex Shelley against Steve Macklin for the Impact World title. Spoiler alert for any of you if you haven't seen it.
Spoiler!
Alex Shelley is the new Impact World Champion. It's cool for Alex Shelley to be champ.
Yes.
It is cool. One of the originals. Now, both Sabin and him, both of the Motor City Machine Guns have been Impact World Champ. I like Steve Macklin a lot, so I hope he gets it back at some point because I think he's a really good heel.
He really is.
And
I like when he does his face paint.
Yeah, I do too. And at the next at Slammiversary, 2 of the matches that have been announced, my favorite, I'm obsessed with her, Deonna Purrazzo against Trinity, formerly Naomi from WWE, for the Knockouts World title, and PCO and Scott D'Amore, the president of Impact, against Bully Ray and Steve Macklin.
Ooh.
That's a very interesting match. Scott D'Amore has always been a good character, so I think that'll be really good to see him get a hot tag and, just start... Because he did a Canadian Destroyer a couple events ago, so he can still go, so that's pretty... And he's trained a lot of people. He trained Petey Williams, and I believe he trained Bobby Roode and a bunch of people. So it's cool to see that he'll be getting back in the rings. But Slammiversary will be next month in July.
I think the last time I seen him in the ring was back in 2005.
Yeah, when he was doing the Team Canada stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think Impact is really good, and I hope people start watching it because I think it is good. But I wanted to show a few things off. This I got, I believe, I want to say 2010, and of course we talked about Roddy Piper and Transformers.
Yes.
This is an actual original WWE photo, not a copy that they put on the merch tables. To Dave, Roddy Piper. A lot of people don't like their stuff personalized. I do. So
right.
I think that was really good. The signature's nice and crisp. This is one of my favorites that I have. Jerry the King Lawler throwing powder into somebody's eyes.
Yes, you don't see them do this anymore.
No, you don't. Well, the baby powder is toxic, and some, at least some of them are. So, I mean, he's got the long tights on and stuff, and the goatee.
That's just full on fucking heel.
Right. I've got a couple Jerry the King Lawler autographs because I met him a few times. We've actually met him, and we've got pictures of him with my Andy Kaufman shirt and your I Heart Puppies shirt. So
thank you for that shirt, by the way.
Right. I met Mr. Anderson in 2010. He signed it. Mr. Kennedy 2009. Mr. Anderson 2010. I love this thing. Eventually I'm going to get it matted and framed with a couple of... I have an autograph card and a memorabilia card. I'm going to get that.
Now, I was with you when you got this one autographed.
I got part of it autographed.
Yes.
An original WWF magazine from December 1988. Yes, I'm that old. I'm
you
quite
old
fuck. I was 7 at the time that this came out. I met the Barbarian back when the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame was in Amsterdam, New York. It is back in Albany now. It made a detour to Texas, and there's a bunch of shit that happened that's ridiculous. Never should have went to Texas. But you could either get an autograph or a picture, which I thought was stupid. You could have just had the autographs go on the front of the table, and then you walk behind the table and crouch down behind them to get a picture. I never understood that, but whatever. I know that I was there, and I got it signed by the Barbarian. He even put POP for Powers of Pain. We went to an indie show, and I got the Warlord to sign this. I had been waiting so long. As soon as I found out that the Warlord was going to be there, I requested the day off because I had to be there to get this signed.
Yes, and that was a lot of fun. That was fucking cold that night, and it was jam-packed.
That building, and it was the tail end of COVID.
Yes.
The very tail end of COVID, and that place was packed to the gills. Hanging from the rafters.
Literally hanging from the rafters because the fucking ceiling was low.
Yeah, the ceiling was very low. They could not do anything. We've been to a few places where the ceiling was really low.
Yes, remember, I think it was part of the guy's foot clipped the ceiling.
Yeah. And I thought the ceiling was going to come down at that point.
Yes.
This is something I think is really
yes.
This goes in the so bad that it's good category. There's a track on here that I'm sure The Undertaker wishes was never released. You need to go on YouTube and you need to put in The Man in Black, The Undertaker. It is fucking hilarious. This is mid-90s to the core. I mean, it's got a Nasty Boy song, which I personally love, called The Nasty Boy Stomp. Speaking from the Heart, where they call him the Macho Man instead of the Macho Man through the whole song. And then you hear Mr. Perfect, where the name of the track is I'm Perfect, and you hear him go, I'm perfect. It's like Scooby-Doo is saying that I'm perfect. It's great. The Tonka one is funny. I like the Big Boss Man one.
Is the Ricky Steamboat one on there?
No, that's the WCW. This is the WWF one. But look for World Wrestling Federation Superstars WrestleMania, the album. My favorite one is the Hacksaw Jim Duggan one. He's local for us. Well, he was. I think he's in South Carolina now. We're right near Glens Falls, New York, so it's really cool. But this whole CD is just hilarious to me. And I think a lot of these, like the British Bulldog is in part of this. This was right when he went to WCW in '93. And of course, the lead time on a lot and the Nasty Boys left before this came out as well. I think the Big Boss Man might have left too. They took the Bulldog right off the cover because the original cover had him on it. I think this is really cool. It's really funny.
Speaking of that, should we talk about the WCW one too?
Yeah, the WCW one's funny too. It's Slam Jam Volume 1. They never did a Volume 2 because it was so horrible. But the Ricky Steamboat one, he's a family man. He does the best he can. And the Freebirds and Don't Step to Ron.
Still the best one. You are a Hulkamaniac.
That's from Hulk Hogan's album. Yeah. That's not from the Slam Jam album. No, the Hulk Hogan and wrestling. I mean, there's so many bad wrestling albums out there.
It's bad, but it's good.
Right. They're. I mean, if you could go on eBay and stuff and find these cheap, Hulk Hogan and the Wrestling Boot Band, the WCW Slam Jam, you cannot find cheap. You can find the tracks on YouTube, but I got a copy a long time ago from High Spots, an original copy. So.
What was the one that was it on the WCW one? Rap is Crap?
That's on the WCW Mayhem one when they had the deal with Tommy Boy Records when ICP did the track for Vampiro.
Nice.
Yeah, I love Rap is Crap. I think it's a great album. So there are a lot of crappy, not crappy in a good way, like Wrestle Crap, like Botchamania, good, kind of stuff.
Speaking of the Undertaker, from that,
we have him on the TV behind the camera,
wrestling
opposite the hard camera, so to speak. We have Undertaker wrestling Mankind from King of the Ring 1996. Since it's the month of June, I wanted to put a King of the Ring on. I watched 93, 94, 95. So I wanted to put on 96.
Good thing you did bring that because I already hung mine up.
That's because you're an asshole and you don't put anything into this show. Oh, yeah. You brought 2 banners. Wow. This, I couldn't believe it when I found this figure. I love this figure. Andre the Giant with the WWF World Title. He has the crucifix around his hand.
Is it the WWF title? Or
it doesn't say WWF.
Or is it WCW? Well, WCCW.
No, it's the WWF one. It's the one that Hogan had right before they switched it over to the White Eagle.
And I think it's really cool that you even pointed out where he has the cross that he ripped off Hogan's neck.
Right. And I think the detail on this is really cool. I'm hoping I can find another one because I really want to open this up.
Yes.
But I'll probably open it up anyways if I can't find one because I want to display this. I think this is awesome. Your brother Billy got me an Andre the Giant figure that I actually have up by my TV upstairs.
The one where he's wearing yellow trunks.
Yep, from WrestleMania 2,
which
I really like.
Yep, this is just before he wore the singlet.
Yeah, he was actually pretty in shape back then. So
yes. Still speaking of action figures, should I talk? We got to talk about the one I just sent you. The Mr. America.
Oh, yeah, that does look really badass.
Yes.
You saw it on Amazon. I don't know, $36 is a little steep for me, but I might end up getting it.
Yes.
I've always been eyeballing the Mr. America weight belts in his beach shop every time I go down to Florida.
And I swear to God, let me know if you're going to buy one because I'm going to send you the money for it, and I want a freaking NWO one.
Yeah, I love the weight belts that he signs, and I think I'll have to have it shipped home because I'm not going to carry it on the plane and risk the autograph getting rubbed off it.
Right.
But I really do want one of the weight belts. I think I might pull the trigger on one of those this year.
Bam. Still going along with the action figures. Yeah. The other Hulk Hogan one I sent you from WCW.
Oh, where he
from War Games.
Right, where he has the camo pants on and stuff. That's pretty cool. I think it would be better if his face was painted like it was in the War Games, but it's cool that they're thinking out of the box with some of these figures, especially the Hulk Hogan ones. Because we had the fist fucker helmet, Hulk Hogan one on our table. If you go on our Facebook, I posted the pictures and videos from when we were from our table.
This motherfucker caught me on fucking camera twice.
Well, I know, and I'm surprised the camera didn't break with your face being there. But,
hey, fuck you!
But we had a great time. A lot of people subscribed as soon as they got our business card with the QR code on it. it felt really good to get the word out about our show. And we had free packs of trading cards that we were giving out. A few people indulged in the trivia contest and gave out some cool stuff. So
a lot of people were commenting on the Hayabusa Pentagon Junior mask.
Yep, and my Venom one that they were trying to buy them, which even though we had signs on them that said for display only, not for sale, I guess I'm gonna have to make the signs bigger.
Yep.
This time.
Then sure enough, besides the mask, somebody asked if my Batman Joker from Arkham Asylum were for sale.
That's true. Well, I've seen that there were other vendors there.
Yeah.
I could see where people would think, that stuff was for sale. But we had a great time. It was really cool to get because that's the best way that we're going to get the word out about the show is to do conventions, especially wrestling ones. I want to give a shout out to Captain's Corner and Zombie Hideout. If you want to go to a signing or even a virtual signing, Captain's Corner does a lot of virtual signings. These guys do it right. Zombie Hideout in Massachusetts and Captain's Corner. It was a well-run convention.
And they always, what do you want to call it? Their advertising.
Oh yeah, they blast the shit out of this stuff. There was a lot of people there. I was worried when it first started because the line was long and then a bunch of people came in and then it looked like it petered off, but then people just kept rolling in and we were so busy that we weren't noticing it. But Kurt Angle and DDP's lines were huge.
Yes.
And Marty Jannetty actually had a pretty good line for a while, which I was surprised about. And I mentioned this there. They had 8x10s that said Dark Side of the Ring with his picture. Me personally, I would not want to sign photos of a show that shows the shittiest parts of my life. That shows me as a fucked up person. I don't think I'd want to sign that stuff, but I guess Marty didn't care because he was making money, but I personally would not want to sign that shit.
It was actually really cool meeting Alicia Fox.
Yeah, you went over her and talked to Devon, showed him that he photobombed me in his own photo because the face on his banner was right behind his head.
That was hilarious.
It literally looked like old school Devon Dudley was photobombing Devon Dudley. I was gonna go say hi to Eddie Edwards and Alicia, but they kept getting people coming over and talking.
Oh yeah, they kept getting a lot of people too.
DDP was extremely nice. He gave me a card for a free month of DDP yoga. My fat ass could probably use that. So.
I was actually thinking about doing DDP yoga.
It was a really great time. I didn't think I would because his line was so long, but once it started, winding down, I just said, fuck it, I'm going to get in line.
And I watched the table for you.
You watched the table. And
a couple people did come over.
Right, and I wasn't gone very long. It didn't take long to get through his line. He does like to talk. That was my only thing. And he was extremely nice. It seemed like he was high as fuck. But
who knows? He's probably high on life.
Right. And I to be honest, I kind of wanted to go meet Lex again. But I didn't have a lot of money with me just for the fact that I didn't want to spend money.
Right.
And I've met Lex before. I've met Kurt Angle before. I've met The Godfather before. You need to start bringing cash so you can start meeting people because...
Yeah,
so I will remind you of that.
I'm kind of picky who I want to meet.
Right, but a lot of them don't take cards. And, so... This was a really cool match with The Undertaker and Mankind.
The one I want to meet the most because it's off... We can't praise him enough. Mick Foley.
Yeah, I've met Mick a couple times. One of these days I'm going to go into the whole experience of the Chief J Strongbow dinner. Well, I guess I can go into it now. Me and a former friend, that you know.
Yep.
I have to say that because we knew each other for 10 years and we were good friends, but we had a bad falling out. And so he's a former friend now, but I did a lot of wrestling stuff with him. And there was a dinner honoring Chief J Strongbow that was put on by the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. And Mick Foley was going to be a speaker and a host, kind of like a host. And he was selling merchandise from his own personal collection in one of the ballrooms or conference rooms that day. So we got there really early and I went in, I don't remember what I went in to do in one of the other rooms, but my former friend helped Mick Foley bring some of his stuff in. And I had a Wanted Dead or Alive Cactus Jack shirt. He had the TNA Mick Foley Bang Bang shirt. And we were sitting in the lobby of this, I think it was a hotel. And he walked right by. And he was like, hey, you guys here to see me? And To me, that's a cool fucking experience.
Yes.
I get that these guys are normal dudes in their personal life, but they're superstars. He's a two-time, best-selling New York Times author. He's a megastar. Mick Foley will always be synonymous with wrestling. He's one of the nicest dudes there's ever been. He does so much charity work, and I believe the stuff that he was selling was going to charity. The money was going to charity. But he's a huge Christmas dude, so he had some of his Christmas stuff.
Did you I think it's called the WWE Artifacts thing.
Oh, the Most Wanted Treasures. He's doing that now. Yeah.
He actually talked about the Rock and Sock Connection shirt that he had.
Oh yeah.
That was he gave away. That went to a little boy, who passed away. I think, if I remember correctly, with cancer, and the little boy was buried with it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of cool.
Yes.
But he had posters, he had magazines, and this is stuff all from his personal collection. So I bought a Japanese, I got to dig it out, a Japanese poster of him from one of his deathmatch days, and he signed that. So to know it was from his personal collection, and
that's
he signed
actually really awesome.
And the No Mercy 1999 poster with him on it, the official WWF poster, I got that, and I have him sign it. I have to get that framed, and I'll show it one of these. I'll hang it behind us one of these days.
Yes.
We went and sat, because it was a dinner. We went and sat at the table, and there was an empty seat at our table. And he went up and spoke. Howard Finkel was there as well.
Cool.
And Ray Apollo, who was the second Doink the Clown, was there. Johnny Rods was there. There was a bunch of people there. And Mick Foley got up and spoke. He spoke for 10, 15 minutes. And as he's walking away from the podium, he notices there's nowhere to sit. Well, my former friend says, "Hey, Mick, we got a spot over here." Mick Foley sat at our table through the whole dinner. That was badass.
That is a hell of an experience right there.
And then my buddy helped him bring his stuff out to the car. I don't know what else I was doing then. I was probably going around looking for autographs and pictures at that point. J.J. Dillon was there as well. I've met J.J. a couple times. So I've had lots of experiences like that. I'll tell you guys about a Jerry the King Lawler experience that was really cool. I've had an experience. If you've watched AEW Ring of Honor, you might know who Matt Taven is. And Tommaso Ciampa. I'm sure a lot of fans know who Tommaso Ciampa is. I've got a really cool story about that as well. I will definitely tell those at another time. We've had cool experiences, me a little bit more than you. I've done a lot more.
I think the best experience, in my opinion, that I had, besides meeting Alicia Fox, where she almost tore my arm off.
Hey, she's excitable. I like her.
Yes.
I think she looks better with the tattoos, actually.
Was Mother's Day last year. I think it was last year or 2 years ago, where we had the merch table.
Yep.
That was a lot of fun.
Oh, the one where nobody showed up and we were just sitting there with Dutch Mantell, Barry Horowitz, the Rougeaus, Jimmy Hart, one of the cousins of Roman Reigns and all that, one of the Anoa'i family. Was there anybody else there? Tugboat.
Yep,
Tugboat was there. And he's a hilarious. He had the Shockmaster. Tugboat was one of the most hilarious guys I've ever.
And who knew Barry Horowitz was fucking so hilarious?
And Dutch Mantell. Mantell's hilarious. But nobody. It was in a hotel. I like Scott Wilder, but the place that he picked for this was bad. You had to wind through this hotel to get to this conference room. And the only people that bought my merchandise was another vendor and the wrestlers themselves.
Yes.
The member of the Anoa'i family bought every single action figure that I had on the table left at the end of it. I think I charged them like $150 or something. Which
no, I think it was less than that.
It might have been, but still, I gave him a damn good price on it because there was a lot of figures. I gave Tugboat, Shockmaster, whatever you want to call him, I gave him a Road Warriors. It's not Lego, but it's the other licensee that they had. WWE
Mega Blocks.
Mega Blocks that they had for a while. So he's like, "How much for this?" I was like, "Just take it."
Then
I think I gave something to Barry Horowitz.
Yes,
as well.
the Brock Lesnar gloves.
Oh, the Brock Lesnar gloves. That's right. I couldn't sell those for shit, but Barry Horowitz wanted them, so I gave them to him. Dutch didn't want nothing, but that's all right.
But that was so much fun listening to them talk about stuff on the road and everything.
Oh yeah, we were sitting there for 4 hours and they were just telling stories, and
it was so much fun.
The Rougeaus were great. Jimmy Hart was great,
and tell you right now, the way that Jimmy Hart acts on screen, so excited and going, "Hey man," that's how he is.
That is him in real life.
Yes.
When I went to a Wrestling Under the Stars for Northeast Wrestling, he had his bullhorn, and it was at a minor league baseball stadium. He's with the bullhorn, just directing people where other people were. He's right at the front gate. He's telling people where to go. Hey, baby, He is the most shameless, but in a good way, promoter I've ever seen. Jimmy Hart is one of a kind. When the world loses Jimmy Hart, they will lose a classic person.
Yes.
He is amazing. I love Jimmy Hart. And I love going back and watching, and you can appreciate, a lot of people, including myself, say Bobby Heenan was the greatest manager. I think Jim Cornette and Jimmy Hart got to be 1A because they are really, really good. Yeah, we've had some good experiences. We'll definitely have to talk about more. I've got so many because I've spent so much money going to so many events and so many things. I mean, we talked about on one of our first episodes, we talked about going to Rebellion.
Yes,
so that was really cool.
Yes, Rebellion was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. And we went to see AEW Dynamite, and I ended up with an infected tooth, and I was in pain all the way home, and that was horrible.
That was a long fucking ride.
That was a long night because all I could get to soothe the pain was water, and I had to keep drinking it, and it would only last for like 30 seconds, and then I would have to piss, and we're driving home on the highway, and I'd have to pull over and piss. So it was horrible.
If you were like I said, towards the end of the night, those last few matches sucked.
Yeah. It was a long... Dynamite is a long taping. Yeah.
If you were in that much pain, you should have just told me, and I would have said...
Right.
I would have had no problem just being like, all right, let's just...
Yeah, I wanted to stay. That was the only thing I wanted to stay, because it was the first time we've gone to AEW.
Yeah.
But the end of the night was a crappy thing. But we'll talk about more stuff later.
But, hey, look at it this way. Best friends hanging out.
Right. And, since we're talking about AEW Collision, did you get a chance to watch it?
No. I did see highlights of it.
You're horrible. You're just...
Sorry, I don't have live TV.
Spend all the... Neither do I, but I end up watching it. But the debut episode has an awesome new look. The theme music, which people are ragging on, but I think it works, is Saturday Night Is All Right for Fighting by Elton John.
Yes!
My thought is, okay, yeah, it's a really old song, but it's upbeat. It's a rock song. I think it fits. I don't get why people have to... I mean, okay, you want to listen to the WWE entrance music for opening music for their shows? It's fucking horrible.
It is.
And all this pop stuff that they're picking for their pay-per-views is just horrible.
I'd rather watch the old pay-per-views, and I love the old entrance music.
Yeah.
Especially the one for Monday Night Raw that they had for a long time.
Right, we were talking about this. There's a lot of iconic wrestling themes. You can't say that about a lot of themes today.
No.
Like Seth Rollins is, Nakamura's is, Bobby Roode's is. I would say even Miz, because it's awesome at the front of it. But, okay, let's say Ricochet, Bronson Reed, Baron Corbin. When their music hits, can you really tell me you know who's coming out? Unless of course they have the Titantron video, which isn't even a Titantron anymore. It's just their name up there. I like the old highlight videos.
Yes.
And this, the Matt Riddle with the pigeons and stuff flying out of his ass, which I think is hilarious every time Jim Cornette says that. But AEW Collision, it's a new look, different commentators, Kevin Kelly and Nigel McGuinness. They had Jim Ross come out later on in the night, and it went badly because he had fallen and his eye was all black and blue.
Yeah, I showed you the pictures.
And his voice was shot. And he apologized for it. He said he's taking some time away to heal. I love JR. JR is the voice of a generation. Greatest play-by-play man ever. But I know he doesn't like the criticism, and he bitches all the time about the criticism. Just go do the backstage interview things. The sit-down interviews he's been doing on AEW are great. He's good at that. Because when he did it with Mick Foley back in the day, it was good stuff. Have Excalibur and Taz. Those two are great. Shivani every once in a while when he's in there. But now they're having guests, like Danielson is coming out when the BCC are in the ring. So you got like 5 guys on the commentary table all at once, and they're all talking over each other. Have JR do something else. And no, I love JR, but him and Shivani, have Shivani be the in-ring interviewer like he's being, but he adds nothing to commentary. Excalibur and Taz, 2-man booth, I think is great. But Kevin Kelly and Nigel McGuinness feels like Ring of Honor. They did Ring of Honor together for years. I kind of wish Steve Corino wasn't with WWE, because my favorite Ring of Honor team was Kevin Kelly and Steve Corino. But you're not going to see that unless Corino leaves and goes to AEW.
Right.
But it had a great look. It had a great feel to it. Punk came out and did a great promo. You know, he talked about everything that happened with the Elite. One of the great lines, he said, for all of those that feel like they deserve an apology, I apologize that you are softer than the wrestlers that you like. That is one of the greatest lines ever. And he had the AEW title, which he never lost, in a bag, and he had his boots around his neck, and he said, I'm going to keep this until somebody pins me and takes it away from me, and nobody can fill these boots, so until somebody can, I'm going to wear them, and I'm going to stay here. So I thought it was great. The main event was Punk and FTR against Bullet Club Gold, which is Jay White and Juice Robinson. I think they're a great team. And Samoa Joe. When Samoa Joe and CM Punk faced off, it was magic.
Yes.
And I think that would be the good feud to start Punk with, because there is so much Ring of Honor history, and Tony owns that library. And I would imagine Jarrett could even get TNA footage, because both Punk and Samoa Joe were in TNA as well. So they never fought each other in TNA, but you could still show that footage, and because the Summer of Punk, well, that wasn't Joe and Punk, I don't think, but
no,
you could do all of that, and you could do really good pump up packages for it. Samoa Joe's amazing on the mic, especially in backstage promos, because he just gets so fired up. And Punk is amazing on the mic, so I think the promos would be great.
I still have to say the best promo that Samoa Joe did was when AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Mustafa Ali, Daniel Bryan, and AJ Styles were all in the ring.
I don't remember that one.
And he told Jeff Hardy, "Hey, sit down. This is not an AAA. Act like this is an AAA meeting and shut up."
Oh, I don't remember that, but that was back when a time when I wasn't watching it that much. So especially if you say Mustafa Ali was involved. So
yeah. Well, this is when they're we're starting to push them. Then Vince is like, "No, it's not."
Right.
Well, that's fucking Vince for you.
Is there anything new with the WWE game that's happening?
Yeah, I think I mentioned that Harley Race is part of the new DLC.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yes. This is the first time, I think this is actually the first time I've seen Harley Race in a video game.
Nice. That's really cool. I just saw it today, and I sent it to you, and I sent our friend Dave, who stopped by the table. Shout out to Dave and his son Aiden. They stopped by the table and talked for a while. Actually, I don't know if I posted it on our page or not. Yes, I did. Us doing the old NWO point to Aiden, so that was cool. I don't even know what I was going on about. But we loved doing the table, so I don't even remember what the fuck I was talking about. So, see, you distracted. Oh, god damn, here we go. One thing I do want to mention, we are going to do a commercial for this eventually.
Yes.
We have merchandise. I don't expect to make a lot of money. I'm wearing one of the shirts right now. This is an homage to one of Seth Rollins' designs, Cheap Freakin' Pops. We put a site up on Redbubble. You can do stickers, you can do phone cases, you can do hats, you can do t-shirts. I think the t-shirts look badass.
Yes.
You can search Cheap Pops on the Redbubble app, or you can go to cheappops.redbubble.com. I wanted an easy way, not so that we have to get it out there. This is like you order it and then they print it and they send it to you. We're not going to make a lot of money off it because we're pretty much the third party out of it. But we like our designs. We wanted to get our designs out there. So why don't you show a couple? Another Seth Rollins design, Cheap Freakin' Pops. The person that we have doing our stuff, we are going to keep going to because
Yes.
she does amazing work. You are wearing the black version of this shirt. I got the white one. I think it pops more on a white, but it does look good on the black as well.
I do want to see what it's going to look like on red, so I
think it is going to look good on red. But the Double Dare logo, I'm a child of the 80s and 90s. You probably came around to the tail end of Double Dare, so...
Oh, I still remember Double Dare.
I mean, I would love it if people bought our shirts, but we just kind of want it up there so people can buy them because we think we've got cool stuff. The OG logo, done by Dave Cole at Davey Painting on Twitter. He is an amazing artist as well as an indie wrestler, so we're going to have him do a full body of our wrestler / superhero because I want to get a cardboard standee that we can have.
And I still love how this came out.
Yeah, that is beautiful. That flag came out. I was worried that it was going to come out pixelated and stuff, but it is really, really good. So
I was
we're going to have to do
so excited when this came in the mail.
No, that's really cool. I threw it in the dryer today to kind of get the wrinkles out of it. We're going to have to figure out a way to get it to hang a little better.
Yes.
But I still think it looks badass. You brought your samurai skull flag. I've got the House of Black one. We have a lot of ideas of stuff that we're going to hang behind us.
Yes.
I just downloaded a video editor, so eventually we're going to put a green screen back here, and I'm going to put stuff up.
And I have so many ideas for flags that can hang behind us.
Yeah,
I've
too.
sent you a couple pictures.
Right, yeah, you want to do a Vice City one, which I'm definitely in favor of. And on our video game episode, he wants to hang a Red Dead Redemption one, which I think is really cool.
Yes, and I already showed you what that banner looks like, and it looks fucking bad.
It really does. So, and if you have the Love Fist one by then, we can pick that one up too. So
yeah.
And hopefully that will be pretty soon. Other than that, I don't really have... Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank is coming up in the UK. Now, the winner of the men's Money in the Bank can challenge for any title. Not just the world title, not just the universal title, but the Intercontinental title, the US title. To me, that is a fucking cop-out.
Yep.
That's saying that, if LA Knight wins, which the crowd clearly wants, we'll have him go for the Intercontinental title. So we don't have to push him like the crowd wants us to.
No.
And I get that you don't want to have LA Knight beat Roman Reigns, but you could do a hell of a thing with him and Seth Rollins.
Right.
And he can hold it for a long time. You had Dolph Ziggler hold it for almost a year. And when he cashed it in, that place went fucking crazy.
And Edge almost held it for a year too.
Right. But to go for the US title or the Intercontinental title, Intercontinental title's got a lot of prestige. US title's got a lot of prestige. Nothing against that.
But still,
nobody wants to see the Money in the Bank winner go. And okay, so if you're going to do that, then let's say let's say Becky Lynch or Trish wins the women's Money in the Bank. Why isn't she going after the Intercontinental or the US title? Why isn't she going after the men's title? You said the men can go after any title.
Right.
So why aren't you doing that? Because you're pussies and don't want to do women against men like every other fucking wrestling company does?
And let's not
get butthurt over that stuff?
Let's not forget that China was a Intercontinental champion.
Yeah, exactly.
And Jacqueline was a Cruiserweight champion.
True. That is very true. So, and you had like jacked up women like Nicole Bass that was wrestling men and all that stuff too. And Trish and Lita did that intergender match with Chris Jericho and Christian at the one pay-per-view. So,
and let's not forget that what the fuck is his name? He was a referee. He was a manager of Giant Gonzalez.
Oh, Harvey Whippleman.
Yes, was women's champion.
That was a comedy thing. That was actually pretty funny. But then you had at one point Triple H and Stone Cold beating the shit out of Lita with steel chairs.
Yes.
So if you're gonna get edgy again, but you don't get that edgy, I think it's funny. I mentioned this to you. As soon as Bruno Sammartino dies, you go right back to doing edgy shit.
Yep.
It's not PG anymore. Well, it is PG, but you start doing edgy shit again. But when you wanted him in the Hall of Fame, you were all about Cena and PG, and you can't do this, you can't do that. But all of a sudden, Lesnar's, saying shit, and there's blood everywhere, and it seems to me that once Bruno died, you went, well, fuck it, we can do whatever we want now because we won't piss off Bruno. So, I don't know. But it's going to be in the UK.
Speaking of Bruno Sammartino, he was a pain in the ass unlocking the new wrestling
Was
game.
he? Yeah, I think I remember you.
Yeah, because you got to do a fatal 4-way elimination match. You got to eliminate Stone Cold Steve Austin, Bruno Sammartino, and Hulk Hogan. You can't let any of them eliminate each other. You have to eliminate them. Because if you don't eliminate every single one of them, guess what? You got to do the whole fucking match all over again.
Well, I wouldn't do that anyways, but that's just me. So, Money in the Bank, Ricochet is qualified. Nakamura, LA Knight, Santos Escobar, Damian Priest, Butch, and Logan Paul. That match is going to be a clusterfuck.
Oh my god. I seen the video of LA Knight busting on fucking Logan Paul.
I have not seen that. I have not watched SmackDown yet, but...
If I can find the video again, I'll fucking send it to you. It is hilarious.
I have it on my DVR. I just haven't watched it yet. But I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys.
7? It used to be, what, 6?
Yeah. Well, they've got 6 in the women's match, which is Zelina Vega, Becky Lynch, Zoe Stark, Bayley, Io Sky, and Trish Stratus. 2 ladder matches on the same show. This stuff is being done way too much. And if you have Logan Paul win this, you're going to piss off a lot of people that are on LA Knight to win it. Because LA Knight's going to get to the point where Braun Strowman was, where people wanted him to be champion, and you didn't pull the trigger on it, and you pissed people off.
Yep, and then... Oh, look, now we're going to finally pull the trigger, then it's too fucking late.
Right. And 3 matches that I think are going to be really good. Cody Rhodes against Dominic Mysterio. You know Rhea Ripley's going to interfere because she's not wrestling that night, or at least at this point she's not wrestling that night. For the world title, Seth Rollins against Finn Balor. A rematch for when the first Universal title was...
I can't wait to actually see that.
That's really good. I mean, Finn's not good on the mic, but he's a damn good wrestler.
Yes.
So I think that's going to be good.
He should have somebody be his mouthpiece, though.
I'd like to see him with Heyman, but...
Right.
I like where the Judgment Day is going right now. So, and speaking of Heyman, this will probably be the main event. The bloodline of... Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa against the Usos. Jimmy and Jay. I think that's going to be great. It's going to be slow, and they're going to tell a story with it. I think this is shaping up to be a good pay-per-view. Well, premium live event. Because, I'm sure some people buy them on pay-per-view now. But, I mean, we'll watch it. We'll review it. Well, I might watch it. I don't know if you will, because you don't watch nothing.
Holy shit, talk about going back.
Oh, yeah, Brian Pillman coming out with the crutches, and he's going to cut a promo.
Yep, this is the downhill towards the end of his life, right here.
Yeah, about a year and a half away, yeah.
Yep,
so it sucks that he was in that accident, because he could have been really, really good in WWF.
He could have...
I mean, he was a good part of the...
Yes.
But he couldn't put in the matches that he could that he wanted to when he was part of the Hart Foundation. So he was always really great on the mic. The loose cannon, stuff that he did was really good. I like doing this because we don't need a distraction, but just staring at the camera just doesn't work for me. I got to have at least something in front of me going on.
Exactly.
So, you got anything else?
Not off the top of my head, no.
No, you didn't bring anything to show this week, so... Oh, God. I printed that out, so you didn't bring that.
I brought something!
Yeah, you brought something to hang.
Oh,
yeah, you brought that. So...
Well, I was going to bring some masking stuff to put on the table, but...
Yeah, we have a lot on the table already. I get it. We will definitely be reviewing The Flash, Money in the Bank, anything AEW related that comes up, anything WWE. Well, they're going to have Braun Breaker against Seth Rollins on NXT. I might watch that, but Braun Breaker's not going to win the world title, so it's kind of so, and it's NXT. I mean, NXT hasn't been the same since Vince took it over for a while. So,
Can Vince just go away
No.
forever?
No,
Please,
he
Vince,
it
just
looked
leave.
It looked like it for a while, but no. So we'll
It
do
was
Money in the
great
Bank.
when he was when they they had him step down. It was starting to be good
It was
again.
good. I mean, not that it's horrible, but you can definitely tell that he's got his fingerprints in it.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do Money in the Bank. We'll do The Flash. If we see any other movies, if we see Indiana Jones in between, which I definitely want to see as well. So, and we'll talk about the AEW game if you get your hands on it and play it before we record again,
Yes.
which probably will. So, because I kind of want to wait until we go see these movies before we record again.
I did see a little bit of news that they might be having Owen Hart in the AEW game.
Yeah, he's in the game. Yeah, he's definitely in the game. I can't wait to play that game. It's going to be fun.
Yes.
So check out our social media everywhere. We're on TikTok, Instagram. I don't do Instagram as much as I should, but I'm always posting on our Facebook and our Twitter. We're going to start doing more TikTok videos, especially now that I can edit them really well. Well, not really well, but I'll be able to.
He's
put
getting
stuff
there.
on. I'm getting there. I'm just starting to learn how to use it. There will be some effects on this episode that I've learned how to do, like putting stuff in the video and intros and stuff like that. So at Cheap Pop Show on all the social media. cheappops.redbubble.com if you like our shirts, and the stickers look cool. I think our logos look good on merch.
Yes.
So, buy a shirt, buy a $2 sticker. I don't care.
Right.
Just represent our show because we enjoy doing this, and
we have a lot of fun doing it.
And we just wanted to put our merch out there. Once again, the We Are Wrestling podcast, these guys are really good. They do a lot of videos, and I think they're really good. So check them out. And I'm Dave.
I'm Nick.
Thanks for checking us out on episode 13. So Cheap Pops on YouTube.